Hi, I know that in a face-to-face course, it's usually the first thing is that the instructor goes over the syllabus. So I thought I'd do that with you right now. This is what the syllabus looks like in the course. You'll find at the bottom of the page there's a PDF file that you can download. Um, so what we do is go through the course week by week to tell you what your assignments are. The first week, you need to do the orientation in the course and be sure that you've read chapter 1 through the top of page 16 and complete your introduction to the course by Wednesday at midnight. You have until Friday midnight to complete the personal loss forum. The course really begins in earnest the second week because I know that many people sign up late for a course and become overwhelmed when there's so much to catch up on. So, hopefully, for those of you who come in late, you'll have the luxury to read that first chapter. Read the lecture and continue on with the course. We do have a poll the first week so that you can decide what day is best for you all as a group to post your responses. I'll go through that with you briefly, and that is that if you choose Friday, it means that you have the weekend free to read responses to your classmates, but you are finished with your posting by the end of the quote work week. If you choose Saturday, it means that you get your Sundays free, but that you're responsible for reading the posts that your classmates make on Saturday. And if you choose Sunday, you have a longer time to participate, of course, but you begin the next module the next day. So it's up to you all to vote for the date that makes the most sense for you. Continuing on with the syllabus, you'll see that week 2 you are finishing chapter 1 and you're choosing 2 of the 3 resources attached. Now, people have asked me when it comes time for exams, what if I choose a reading that you use in the exam or don't choose a reading that you use in the exam? I want you to know that for the materials in this course, I am simply looking for key ideas, not something specific from each article. So whichever one you choose will get across the key idea that I have in mind. Module 3, the week of May 30th, is about perinatal attachment and loss, and you're going to be in small groups for that. Anytime you're assigned to a small group, you need to make your initial post, and any of the replies that are counted towards your participation grade in that group. However, all the groups are open and anybody may participate in any group, but your grade is based on the group to which you are assigned. A reminder here in yellow is that your personal loss assignment is due by midnight on June 5th, and I will show you that in the orientation where the assignments are located and hopefully be able to explain that further for you in that section. The week of June 6th is infancy and childhood. The 13th is tweens and teens. The 20th, young adulthood. In young adulthood, there are several case studies located in your text, and you are going to choose one that really appeals to you and use that as your discussion board. Again, you will post and reply in that discussion board, although certainly you can participate in any of the discussions. The week of June 27th is middle adulthood. The week of July 4th is a little bit different because you may either base your responses on someone you know or someone you read about online. And the week of July 11th is one to think about ahead of time because you will need to interview someone who is of a different culture than you are. Now, by culture, I can mean religion, I can mean country of origin, anything that makes this person's life different from yours. So it will help you all to choose people that are very different. And in that case, you will learn a lot about people and a lot about each other. You'll post all those interviews in the discussion board. On July 17th, you have a book review due on one of Joan Didion's books, either The Year of Magical Thinking or Blue Nights. You can choose whichever of those books you want to work on, and then you will continue that week of July 18th with interventions with the bereaved. The course ends the week of July 25th, and it's a time to say goodbye and also to read the material in that particular module, as it will be helping you to be successful in the exam. It is not an exam study sheet. I don't believe in those. I figure if you read the materials and participate in the class, you're prepared for the exam. The exams have not been scheduled as yet, and once they are, you can check the university exam schedule and I'll post it. You need to have grief and loss across the lifespan, a biopsychosocial perspective, the second edition. The first edition is no longer available, and so we've moved to the second edition, and you will be missing readings if you are using the earlier edition. You can choose, as I said, between The Year of Magical Thinking or Blue Nights, and there are assigned articles attached within the course. The grading scale is here, and the grading scale is the official grading scale of Western, and so I'm sure that all of you are familiar with that. Your personal loss assignment is 25% of your grade. The book review is 20%. Your final exam is 40%, and your class attendance and participation is 15%. During the course, you'll receive snapshots of your participation throughout the course, which will give you and me a sense of how you're doing in the class. For discussion, I want you to look at this rubric very carefully and read it. You can receive of course, a total of 100 points. Up to 25 of those points are for your initial post. When I look at initial post, I'm not looking for length, I'm looking for quality. But I must say that I am looking for explicit connections to the course readings, something that you could not have written had you not read the materials. For your responses, you can get up to 30 points, and that is both quality and quantity of responses. A few lines does not make for a good response, or I really liked what you said, or I agree with you. You can get up to 25 points for reading classroom posts. You must read at least 50% of the post to get any points, and I assume that you have to log into the class at least twice during the week. If you only are logging in once, you are missing out on a lot of class. You can get 20 points simply by posting by Wednesday midnight your initial post, and by replying by whatever deadline we choose in order to get any of those points. Be sure that when you read posts, you mark all as read. Right here is the icon. It's at the top of the page on the left-hand side. If you have any late assignments, I'll grade them on the rubric and then dock them an additional 10% per day or portion of a day. Now, I am more than understanding when people have emergencies in their lives. So if you find that you have an illness or a family member who is ill that you must take care of, or some other real crisis in your life, please contact me before the assignment is due, and we will negotiate a new deadline for you. If you don't contact me, you will certainly be docked for the additional time per day. Also, if you have a legitimate medical issue, do contact me for any extensions for any of the projects. Below you'll find the assignment instructions for the personal loss assignment. For all the assignments in my course, there is not a page length requirement. You need to use the space you need to meet the requirements of the rubric. Just because it's long doesn't mean it's good or it gets more points. I'll leave this to you to read, but if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me individually or post in the Q&A board on the forums. The same thing is true of the book review. No page length constraint. Use as much space as you need, but an extra length does not translate to extra points. You need to submit your document in either docx, or PDF. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Thanks.